It's going to be Thursday, November the 15th, Dixon, Kentucky Championship Wrestling right there in Webster County Heights, sponsored by the Athletic Department. Also put this one down on Sunday, November the 18th. That's down in Owensboro, the Sports Center. We'll have more on that. How about Wednesday night, my friend? By golly, I'll tell you, some kind of blowout in there. We'll give you the entire card a little later, and it is going to be something. The Gilberts will be there. We'll have something to say about that a little bit. And you're going to see handsome Jimmy Valiant, the Boogie Woogie Man, coming in with Tommy Wildfire Rich as his partner, going against the Dirty White Boys. And then the final event, it'll be King Kong Bundy with Jimmy Hart in his corner. And they'll be going against Ravishing Rick Rude. Okay, Jimmy, Wednesday night.
You know what? I'm going to make it short and sweet. I was barred from ringside last week.
Yes,
that's what those guys wanted, and look what happened to them.
Yeah.
Everybody see what happened to Savage. Let's talk about Tommy Rich. Tommy Wildfire Rich, brother. The big man around here gets up and says, hey, I like all the people. I like to sign autographs, kiss all the pretty girls, get patted on the back. Well, Jimmy Valiant, you look at the street people stand right here, Daddy. You should get somebody real tough. Savage couldn't handle it. So you got Tommy Rich. He's supposed to be bad. He's supposed to be tough. Listen, Tommy Rich, I want you to sign all those autographs. Let everybody pat you on the back on the way to the ring, pat you on your back, baby, and bring it on in there, because the Dirty White Boys are going to be ready for you, Jack. Last time our manager, he wasn't there. He was barred from ringside, but this time the White Boys are going to be sent. Bring it on down to Evansville, Tommy Wildfire Rich. See if you can handle the Dirty White Boys, Jack.
I got a feeling Jimmy Hart will be very prominent that night, Wednesday night in Evansville, as he'll be with the Dirty White Boys, and I'm sure with King Kong Bundy. Going to be some kind of a night, Jimmy, maybe a big disappointment.
The greatest night of my life. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I hear you talking. You be out there Wednesday night. You have got to see all of the action that's coming up. That's Wednesday night in Evansville. It'll be happening right there. I think one of the more interesting events that has taken place in professional wrestling recently is a situation that developed between King Kong Bundy and Rick Rude, the holders of the Southern Tag Championship belts. Before we go into any action, I want you to take a look and hear what big King Kong Bundy had to say.
I'll tell you exactly what happened. The whole wrestling world wants to know what happened between King Kong Bundy and Rick Rude. You know, Jimmy, a few weeks ago, a shot at the World Tag Team Championship against the Road Warriors. Yeah, the Road Warriors, biggest, toughest team in professional wrestling, everybody says. Well, we had the Road Warriors beat. I had them hooked, Hawk the Road Warrior hooked, and all Rude had to do was come off the top rope, drop the elbow on him, I would have covered him 1, 2, 3. And what does Rude do? The Road Warrior moves an inch or two, and Rude comes off on my head, temporarily stunning me and allowing them to gain a quick 1, 2, 3 on King Kong Bundy, which you don't see too often. I let that go. I should have beat you up right then, Rude, but I didn't. Then we got the fabulous ones. The Southern Heavyweight Tag Team titles on the line, right, Jimmy? The fabulous ones. I could beat those two little geeks by myself. And what happens? Rude cost me my titles. Now, let me tell you something about those titles. They make me a lot of money, and when I go back to Atlantic City, New Jersey, money is what makes that city go round, and that's my place. So I said to Jimmy right then, I said, Jimmy, you got to choose between this little geek Rude and King Kong Bundy. And I'll tell you what Jimmy said.
You know what I said? You know exactly what I said, Bundy. I'm with you all the way, big man, because you are the future in professional wrestling, the greatest warrior of all. I am the head of the force. I am head of the first family. There was no choice at all. Rick the Scissors Rude. You know what? You're right, Bundy. We both carried this guy on our back. I took him into the first family. I made him. I cut videos on him. I groomed his hair. I bought him the clothes. And this is what he does to me. And Bundy humiliates us. Two of the greatest moments of our life against the fabulous ones. Our big chance, and he spoils that. And then the Road Warriors, who they say is the greatest team in the world today, especially Paul Ellering, a guy who I brought up in professional wrestling, and you spoiled that night for me too. Well, nobody does that. And you say there's a choice between this man and Rick Rude? No choice at all. There's no doubt about it. King Kong Bundy beat Jerry Lawler. King Kong Bundy beat Tommy Rich. King Kong Bundy beat Dutch Mantell, and he'll beat you, Rick Rude.
Oh, you know, Jimmy, when you think about how long we carried that gutless little coward around on our shoulders, it makes me sick. Well, Rude, you're not finished. There's still something for you to do, Rude. Why don't you become a wrestling fan? Because you're just like a fan. You're weak, you're stupid, and you're a punk.
Jimmy Hart, Mac the Knife, he's chopping on another one of his family members in there, and King Kong Bundy. Just so you can make your own judgment, I want you to take a look at what happened in the bout between Rude and Bundy and the fabulous ones. And this was a highly important bout. Let's take a look at it. Bundy did not. Steve Kern again on the outside was staying in. There's the reach. No strength. Don't think there's any doubt Bundy really has not been exerting himself. At first I thought it was an accident in terms of the tag, but no way. He is just not exerting himself to tag Rude. Look at that. Bundy taking that beef of his as he pounds Stan right in the back of the neck. Kern keeping a close eye on it. And the referee making sure that he didn't get too close to it. Louisville Gardens. Big action. Fast. A lot at stake. Southern tag belt. Bundy. There's a tag on Rick Rude. And Bundy kind of shoves him. They've been jawing. Steve Kern gets a tag, and that was immediately. Thomas Marlin over there with bumped out. Didn't see it. Running Steve back out. Steve trying to tell him. Rude and Bundy make the exchange. Stan covers up Rude. Now 1, 2, 3. And new Southern Tag Champions, the fabulous ones, Stan Lane, Steve Kern. Not an upset, but certainly something the crowd really wanted to see as Kern and Lane put it all on the line against the belts. Took them away from Rude and Bundy. His heart talking with Bundy there. Rude was the one that got pinned. Rick Rude hobbling back in the corner. It continues. They've been kind of chicken fighting all the way through. Bundy's had a sour lip through this whole match. Hart now explaining up there what's the matter. Hart, of course, all he cares about is the money and his percentage that the Southern Tag belts bring. And he is laying the law down to Rick Rude. Rude trying to explain his side of it to Hart, apparently. Oh, we have a little problem in the family. Rick Rude, King Kong Bundy, dropped the Southern Tag title. Stan and Steve. And now Bundy explaining to Rude, I am not used to losing a match. Why did you lose it? And Rude, I got hit. Bundy jumped him. Rude just simply said, let's forget it. And Bundy nailed him right away. He's got a chain he got from Hart. Rick Rude in a major split in the family right here in the Garden. Oh, boy, he is bleeding where he's ripped him 3 times with that chain. Rude and Bundy had their problems all the way through, but we never thought it would lead to something like this. Look at Bundy. He is beating the stew out of Rick Rude. Who's going to help him? I'll tell you, the Fabs at least had enough sympathy for a human being to come in there. And Bundy and Hart go bailing out. The new Southern Tag champs, Stan and Steve. Big story. Rude and Bundy fight it out right there in the ring. Yeah, boy, you're talking about banging him. Oh, man, Rude really got on him. Kind of an interesting situation in there as it developed. And you notice how when Rude in the match with the Road Warriors hit Bundy after one of the Road Warriors got out of the way, Bundy didn't say anything about him letting the Road Warriors go.
True.
And it's not that I got any great love for Rick Rude, but I just, these guys sometimes get you a little hot. Let's take a listen to what Rude responded with.
You know, a lot of you people out there might be wondering what took place between King Kong Bundy and myself in our title match last week. A lot of people may be surprised at what took place. But maybe if you knew the story behind the match, if you knew how this all built up,
you wouldn't be quite so surprised. You see, a few months ago, a Hollywood publicist got a hold of me. A Hollywood publicist by the name of Warren Seabury. And he started creating headlines like this all over the country for myself. And I signed a contract with him because I felt that it would help me reach my financial goals a little bit faster. And as soon as I signed that contract, I noticed a change in Jimmy Hart's attitude. He started holding family meetings and started leaving Rick out. It's just, Jimmy Hart wants to have his fingers in everything. Jimmy Hart wants to say jump, and Rick is supposed to say how high. Jimmy Hart's supposed to tell me what to wear. Jimmy Hart's supposed to tell me what to say. And when I signed this contract, it really irritated him. Well, Hart, I got news for you. I'm ravishing Rick. I always have been, and I always will be. I'm tougher than anyone you have in that family. And I'm going to beat the daylights out of you and King Kong Bundy together. And you can mark my words, Hart, because that's a promise from me to you.
Well, two big stories right there. Rude and Bundy really on the outs, ready to go at each other's throat at the drop of a contract at any place, any time. And the other one is the fabulous ones, the new Southern Tag Champ. We got more wrestling in the ring in a moment. We'll be seeing Eddie Gilbert and Tommy Gilbert together in just a moment.